Today we're going to continue from part 1, which I will link up here. Let's actually break down what low income and median income mean in numbers, because all the talk about cost of living abroad becomes way more real once we anchor it properly. In Canada, low income in 2025 sits around 28,000 Canadian a year. That's about 21,000 American. The median Canadian income is about 68,000 Canadian or 51,000 American dollars. The US, low income hovers somewhere around $30,000 or 40,000 Canadian, and the median sits around 59 or 79 Canadian. Now, why am I starting here? Because whether you're from Toronto, Vancouver, or any mid-sized Canadian or American city, these numbers determine how far your dollar stretches abroad. If you want grounded guidance and not glossy travel fantasies, you're in the right place. And if you are considering a move abroad in 2026, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next parts of this series where I break down the real costs, legal requirements, and what life actually feels like beyond the honeymoon phase. If you are new here, I am Gaia Kairos, and this channel explores reinvention after 45, late career clarity, and the real math behind retirement, relocation, and building a second life that actually works. All right, well, let's start with the topic that bursts the most bubbles: rent. Because yes, some people online claim they're living in paradise for $900 a month, but here's what Western standard housing actually costs in the places that people dream about. Puerto, Vallarta, 2025 prices. If you want modern plumbing, working AC, elevators, safe wiring, and no mold, here's what you're realistically paying. Zona Romantica, 1,800 to 2,600 USD or 2,350 to 3,500 Canadian. Centro, 1,400 to 2,000 or 1,800 to 2,640 Canadian. Versailles or Zona Hoteliera, hotel zone, 1,500 to 2,200 USD or 1,900 to 2,900 Canadian. Anything less, you're looking at older, noisier, humid, often unreliable units with very bare furnishings. Bali. Western standard, one bedroom in Canggu, Sanur, or Simiyak, 1,100 to 1,800 American, which is in Canadian about 1,450 to 2,400. Thailand, Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Phuket. Modern condo in Chiang Mai would run you about 500 to 900 American dollars or 650 to 1,200 Canadian. In Bangkok, a modern high-rise would cost you about 900 to 1,400 American dollars or 1,200 to 1,850 Canadian. Vietnam, Da Nang, Hon Ai, Good quality condo would cost you from 500 to 800 American or 650 to 1050 Canadian. Florence, central one bedroom would cost you in euros 1000 to 1400, which is about 1450 to 2030 Canadian, or 1070 to 1500 American dollars. Paris, France. One bedroom inside Terrific is 1400 to 1900 euros, or 2030 to 2760 Canadian, which is about 1500 to 21 American dollars. So if you're watching from Calgary, Toronto, yes, this is absolutely relates to you. Rent abroad follows the same rule everywhere. Neighborhoods expats want are the most expensive. Now we are going to talk about residency requirements and visas. Mexican residency requirements in 2025-2026. Here are the actual numbers. Option number A, savings. You need 61,000 American dollars or 80,500 Canadian in a bank for 12 months. Option number B, you need 3,700 American per month, which is 49 Canadian for 6 months. And no, these are not soft rules. Mexico is enforcing them more strictly every year, and every year that number is increasing. Why visa runs are bad plan in 2025-26. A visa run today means 450 to 650 American dollars airfare, hotel, taxi, plus absolutely no guarantee you'll get more than 30 to 60 days on re-entry. The visa runs used to work, but no more. People on expat forums describe 2025 visa runs with one word: unpredictable. It used to work, but it doesn't work anymore because Mexican authorities want people with guaranteed income who would spend that money in Mexico. Now let's talk about Thailand. Thailand looks cheap on the surface until you meet the 800,000 baht deposit requirement for retirement visas. That's 29,600 Canadian or 22,300 American. And it must sit frozen in the Thai bank for 6 months every year. What does that cost you in lost returns? If you invested that money in a conservative 5% ETF in Canada, 29,600 multiply 5%, it would be 1,480 per year or 7,400 Canadian lost over 5 years. The Thai bank, meanwhile, pays 0.25%. This is one of the biggest hidden expenses nobody calculates. But it absolutely matters for Canadians and Americans of low and medium income, and it's a requirement for a long-term stay. Now let's talk about healthcare realities, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all taken from the real expat cases and forums. Mexico, pain points. Upfront payment required in a private hospital, and it did happen to me. I'm going to make a separate video about it. Inconsistent medical records, variable quality, long waits in public systems, and also something that you might not want to opt for because not only the wait time is long, but the equipment and the care might not be up to your standard. Pros: fast access to tests. You have to pay for them. Strong dental care. Private hospitals still cheaper than in North America. Thailand. Pain points. Annual price hikes. Foreigner pricing, which actually can apply to Mexico as well. Sometimes unnecessary tests. Insurance exclusions. Pros: fast diagnostics, excellent surgery outcomes, clean, modern hospitals. Italy. Pain points: bureaucracy, slow for non-urgent cases, language struggles outside of tourist areas. Pros: strong public health care once you're registered, predictable costs. France. Pain points: paperwork, navigating the Carte Vitale system. Pros: arguably the best public healthcare globally, consistent quality, excellent access to specialists. Now let's talk about insurance costs for 45 to 60-year-olds. Typical annual cost for a Canadian or an American expat. Mexico, $1,200 to $2,600 American dollars. Thailand, $1,600 to $3,200 American dollars. Italy and France, $1,200 to $2,200 before access to public systems. So, is it worth it moving in 2025 to 2026? This is your philosophical but grounded question. Here's the truth. Moving abroad used to cut your costs in half. In 2025, 2026, it sometimes does and sometimes doesn't. Mexico's shoreline cities like Puerto Vallarta have doubled or tripled in rent. Thailand requires locked up capital. Italy and France offer stability, but with a higher monthly costs. Southeast Asia remains cheaper, but healthcare and visas require planning. But for many people, it's still worth it. Not because it's cheap, but because what it offers. Peace in some places, community, sunlight, a slow life, reinvention, a new chapter that wasn't possible at home. And that has value that no spreadsheet fully captures. If you're considering a move in 2026, take your time, run the numbers, check the visa rules twice, and choose the place that supports your health, your budget, and the life you want next. You don't have to make the mistakes that I made, such as buying furniture, because it got me excited. So, if you want to follow this journey and make clearer decisions for your own reinvention, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.